Check. Check 1 2.
You're muted. Let's call it 1, 2, hey!
Criminal Session Case number 132 of 2026, Uganda versus Christopher Okello Onyum.
Mr. Okello, good afternoon. Okay. Okay, this is the ruling of the court, and it is in respect of an application which came shortly into the evidence of DW2, who testified that he is a biological elder brother of the accused person. He stated that in 2020, he got information that his brother was admitted in Butavika. When he went to check on him in January 2020, he learned that he had been admitted following an incident that had happened. Counsel for the accused did not lead this witness to explain to the court what incident it was. He further testified that he learned from the medical staff at Butavika that he was being held there because of what had happened, but they did not give him reasons. He further testified that he was not certain of how long he had been at Butavika, but he had tried looking for him in December 2019, and they said that they could not discuss any details with him, despite the fact that he had informed them that he was his brother. It was at this point that Mr. Kumbuga Richard, counsel for the accused person, made an application to this court while relying on Article 28 of the Constitution, that's the right to a fair hearing, and Section 46(1) of the Trial on Indictments Act. He asked the court to call the doctors in Butavika because from the evidence on record by the prosecution, it was indicated that the accused had a history of mental illness. He also asked this court to make an inquiry into the mental health of the accused pursuant to Section 46(1) of the Trial on Indictments Act. He further stated that this government institution, that is Butavika, would be in a position to tell us whether the accused has ever been in Butavika in his life and his health status, and they will also be able to tell us whether he is capable of following the proceedings and to be put on his stand, much as he has finished. I need to observe from the onset that I find this application in the middle of the testimony of DW2 with almost no background information, very irregular. I would rather counsel waited for the witness to first give his evidence, whereupon he would have sufficient information upon which to base his application. Nevertheless, I will proceed to address his concerns. In reply, Mr. Jonathan Muwaganya, Chief State Attorney, while citing Section 46(1) of the Trial on Indictments Act, contended that this application is rather strange and was brought too late. He argued that that the provision of the law, that is Section 46(1) of the Trial on Indictments Act, relates to the capacity of the accused person to follow proceedings during trial. He argued that an application under this section should be brought before the accused's defense and not after. While citing the case of Omaka Geoffrey versus Uganda, number 9 of 2017, he submitted that the capacity to stand trial when the person has capacity to stand trial when he is able to do one or more of the following. A, that he understands the nature and consequences of the proceedings, and that he can communicate with his advocate in the sense that he is able to take part in his own defense. He further argued that the two separate questions to ask is whether the accused is able to understand and plead to the indictment against him, and whether he would be able to take an effective part in the trial. He further stated that this was for court to decide and not the doctors. That is from that decision. And now this is the decision of the court. Section 46 of the Trial on Indictment Act is under Part 7, which provides for procedure in case of mental illness or other incapacity of the accused person. Subsection 1 thereof provides that, and I'm quoting, when in the course of a trial, the High Court has reason to believe that the accused is suffering from mental illness and consequently incapable of making his or her defense, it shall inquire into the fact of such mental illness. In the case of Omaka Geoffrey versus Uganda, which the prosecution relied on, I am persuaded by the decision of the Land Honorable Justice Stephen Mubiru regarding what to look at when to determine whether a person is capable or not. He says a person will be capable of standing trial where he is able to do one or more of the following: understand the nature or object of the proceedings in the sense that he is able to understand that he is in a courtroom, recognize the people in the courtroom, that is, the judge, the state attorney, his advocate, and why they are there. 2, understand the possible consequences of the proceedings. That is, to understand what he is charged with, what kind of pleas he can take, that is, guilty or not guilty, what can happen to him if he pleads guilty, or what can happen if he does not tell the truth in court. 3, communicate with his advocate in the sense that he is able to take part in his own defense and tell his advocate, even in basic terms, what he wants to do with his case. When this matter first came up on the 13th of April 2026, this court interfaced with the accused person for the first time. I extended my greetings to him and he respectfully responded to me. I informed him that there were some charges against him and I needed to tell him his rights to a fair hearing under Article 28 of the Constitution. I explained to him his right to a presumption of innocence and the right to be legally represented, among others. I informed him that 2 lawyers had been assigned to him to assist him in these proceedings. I also informed him that if he had anything to ask or communicate, he would communicate the same through his lawyers, or he would speak to the court directly. I then asked him if he had understood, and he answered in the affirmative. Since then, the accused person has very well exercised those rights, right from the time of taking plea to the time of giving his defense. The accused exercised his right to plead not guilty to all the 4 counts, and in fact, when I first asked him, while explaining to him the particulars of the first count, and I asked him whether it was true, he asked me, "Do you mean my plea?" And when I said yes, he went ahead to say, "I plead not guilty." This pattern followed through the other counts. I have observed him throughout the proceedings, and I am satisfied that he was alert and keenly following the proceedings. Occasionally, whenever he had something to communicate, he often raised his hand, and I would either ask his lawyers to attend to him, and immediately I would ask the lawyers whether they had a communication to make to court from the accused person. However, on other occasions, he raised his hand, and his lawyers would tell me that he wants to address court personally. Whenever I gave him a chance to speak, I did not find anything irregular with his speech, which would have given me reason to believe that he's suffering from mental illness and incapable of following the court proceedings and eventually give his defense. When the prosecution closed its case yesterday, the 23rd of April 2026, and after finding a prima facie case against the accused on all the 4 counts, thereby requiring him to give his defense, I explained to him the options that were available to him to make his defense pursuant to Section 74, subsection 2 of the Trial on Indictments Act. I then asked him if he had understood, and he said that he had understood. I specifically asked the accused person to repeat what he had understood, and he accurately explained it back to me. I gave him 30 minutes to consult with his lawyers and informed the court which option he would take. When court resumed, he informed the court that he wasn't quite ready, but said he would give a sworn testimony. Regarding his witnesses, he informed the court that he needed to get their particulars in his 3 phones, 2 smartphones and 1 button phone, which he clearly described. The same, which were already admitted as prosecution exhibits, were availed to him, and he was given time to scroll through them, upon which he wrote 4 names and telephone contacts on a piece of paper for court to summon them. I am glad to note that the defense has informed the court that 2 out of the 4 witnesses whose particulars were availed to court were duly summoned and are present in court. The current witness, DW2, who stated that is the accused's brother, being one of them. After the accused informed the court that he would give a sworn testimony, I again gave him an hour to prepare himself. And when court resumed, he still informed the court that he was still not yet prepared to give his defense. I then reminded him that if he gave a sworn testimony, he would be subjected to cross-examination by counsel for the state. And then he responded, in that case, I will give an unsworn statement. The matter was then adjourned today, the 24th day of April 2026, when he gave a detailed and sworn statement. The accused asked whether he could consult his notes while he gave his defense, and his request was granted. He then took out his notes and kept on making reference to them under different subjects. He also occasionally made reference to the evidence of the prosecution and going ahead to rebut it with his own evidence. He repeatedly stated that he did not deliberately kill the 4 children, but he was under the control of some people whom he said were in 3 categories. The accused further stated that between the months of January to March this year, he was in distress as a result of those people who were surveilling him, and he understood that they would prevail over him. I am satisfied that this is his defense, which the court will analyze in light of the other evidence on record at the time of giving judgment. Throughout the trial, it has been, of course, clearly said that the accused person suffers from chronic sickle cell anemia disease, which affects his body. It does not affect his mental abilities. In light of the above, therefore, in the course of this trial, I have had no reason to believe that the accused is suffering from any mental illness, which would make him incapable of making his defense, thus requiring me to inquire into his mental abilities. I have watched the accused throughout the trial, and I'm satisfied that he has been following the proceedings right from the beginning. I therefore decline to make an inquiry into the mental health of the accused person as requested by his lawyers. Counsel for the accused has also asked this court to call the doctors in Butabika. Unfortunately, he did not specify which doctor this court should call. He also stated that the doctor should tell us whether the accused has ever been to Butabika Mental Hospital. Unfortunately, he also did not specify which period. It is important to note that DW2 is the first person to mention that the accused person has ever been in Butabika. The accused person himself, while giving his defense, never mentioned at all that he had ever been in Butabika. The mental distress he talked about while giving his evidence was between the months of January to March 2026. Counsel for the accused made reference to PF24, which was marked as a prosecution exhibit PEX7, That was the examination of the accused person on his physical and mental abilities, done on the 7th of April. Those were five days after the alleged offense happened, by Dr. Nwamanya Emmanuel, who is a police surgeon but also a psychiatrist. He informed the court that he assessed the accused person, and these were his findings, and I'm quoting. He had normal behavior, calm, cooperative, speech was coherent, his memory intact, and exhibited good judgment. His thought process and content was normal, but believed in wealth by human sacrifice. He was able to explain the reason for killing the children as fortune hunting or enrichment. He got the idea on recalling childhood folk tales of getting wealth by sacrificing people. In that report, Dr. Nwamanya made a note as information from the accused, and I'm also quoting. He had history of past mental illness, treated between 2016 to 2025 for schizophrenia associated with both auditory and visual hallucinations. He killed his 2 to 3-year-old brother in 2016 or 2017, reportedly to save him from the troubles of this world. He also attempted suicide in 2023, and he was also a sickle cell patient on treatment. The findings above are suggestive of a mental condition with psychotic episodes. Further mental assessment is necessary since no medical documents were availed, and he was the only source of information. From the above information, Butabika is not mentioned anywhere. The defense has not given this court any information regarding the mental health of the accused person in light of the presumption of sanity under Section 10 of the Penal Code Act, Cap 128. Having said that, I reiterate that the only person that has mentioned that the accused person has ever been to Butabika before this court is DW2. I am unable to make an order requested for by the defense lawyers on behalf of the accused to call a doctor from Butabika before hearing the full testimony of DW2. In the meantime, DW2 shall continue his testimony, whereupon the court will make a decision as whether it is necessary to call somebody from Butabika or not, but it will only be restricted to as to whether the accused person has ever been to Butabika, but not to make an inquiry as to whether he's capable of standing his trial. And that is the order of the court. Can give the summary.
Etwawumulidde Pleader Okello yataddeyo okusaba kwe ng'asaba nti kooti ewa ekiragiro, kooti etumye bayite omusawo okuva e Butabika ajje awa obujulizi oba Okello ategeera bulungi oba nedda, era n'omuwabi wa gavumenti n'addamu n'asaba n'agamba okusinziira okusaba wekujjidde akuwakanya n'okuba nti essaawa ebakuleetedde ng'Okello amaze okuwa obujulizi okuweewozaako kwe era tewaliiwo nabukakafu buleeteddwa ludda lwawaabirwa, era omulamuzi akyekennenyeza nayetegereza n'obujulizi obwaleetebwa edda, n'agamba nti okusinziira n'engeri gy'abadde ayogerezeganyaamu n'Okello okuva omusango we gwatandika nga 13 omwezi guno, tannazuulawo nsonga yonna emwaliriza kubanga anoonyereza ku ntegeera y'Okello. N'agamba nti obujulizi bwe n'omujulizi owokubiri oludda olwawaabirwa agende mu maaso n'obujulizi bwe olwaleero.
Sir, would you please resume your stand? Mr. Kumbuga, you know where we stopped?
Thank you, my Lord. Defense has successfully led the defense witness, and we close our evidence in respect of that witness. we pray, prosecution goes ahead to cross-examine.
You're telling me that was all you needed from him?
No, my Lord, I've said in respect of this witness.
That is all you needed from this witness?
Yes, my Lord.
Okay. Do you have any cross-examination you want to make, counsel for the state?
Just a minute. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Your brother, I just want you to confirm that your position is that your brother was in Butabika in the year 2020. Is that your position?
Yes, sir.
Tinkakasa nti muganda wange yali mu ddwaliro ly'e Butabika mu mwaka 2020.
But you don't know the reason why he was taken there, do you?
No, the reason was not given to me.
Era ensonga lwaki yatwalibwayo sigimanyi kuba ensonga teyampeebwa.
But it is in your knowledge that before finding himself there, he had killed a stepbrother called Freeman. Is that something in your knowledge?
I have had. It's not something that I would say is in my knowledge.
What have you had?
I had heard that, as counsel had mentioned, that he had killed the person called Freeman.
Freeman is supposed to be your brother, a son of your biological dad. Do you still want this court to believe that is a fact not in your knowledge?
I had not met my little brother before.
So you are not aware whether he's alive or dead?
I am aware that he is dead.
Nawulira buwulize nti nali nkiwuliddeko nti muganda wange ono yatta omuntu ayitibwa Freeman ng'era
And,
nkimanyi nti oyo Freeman yafa.
And from Butabika, as you say, your brother, the accused person, went straight to the United States. Do you know when he went to the US?
No, I do not.
Simanyi ddi muganda wange lwe yagenda mu America.
So other than today, when did you last see the accused person?
Physically, the last I saw him was
Which year?
other than today.
Yes, yes.
Other than today, the last I saw him was in the evening of the night of April 2nd.
Was this after his arrest?
Yes, that was after his arrest.
Ng'ojjakola olwo nasemba okulaba muganda wange ono maaso ku maaso namulaba ng'amaze okukwatibwa kawungeezi kanga 2 omwezi ogwokuna.
Okay, other than the night of April 2nd when he was arrested, when had you last seen him?
It had been long, I cannot.
In terms of
recall.
years, can you estimate for this court in terms of years?
About 5-6 years.
Ng'ojjako olwo akawungeezi k'olwo nga 2 omwezi ogwokuna nali nasemba okulaba muganda wange mu myaka wakati w'5 n'omukaaga emabega.
And I will be correct to observe that even though you are biological brothers, you are not close associates. You are not close friends. Will my observation be correct?
Yes, that would be correct.
Tewadde tuli booluganda naye tetuli nnyo ba mukwano.
Well, finally I'm instructed that actually, okay, before I tell you my instructions, confirm to this court that when your stepbrother Freeman was killed, the accused person was never produced in any court of law for that murder. Do you know that fact?
No.
Was he produced in any court of law to your knowledge for that murder?
I do not know that, no.
Ekyo sikimanyiiko olwa muganda wange oluvannyuma lw'okuttibwa kwa muto wange Freeman yatwalibwako mu mbuga z'amateeka zonna.
Our second last question with you, sir. You don't actually know under what arrangement your brother was taken to Butabika. Is that correct? You don't know who and under what arrangement he was taken to that place called Butabika.
That is correct.
Ekituufu simanyi ani oba ntendera ki mwe baayita okutwala muganda wange Butabika.
In fact, you, as your brother, even when you attempted to go there, you never saw him physically to confirm that he was there. Is that correct?
Okay,
I
the question
did
is that when you went, did you see him? Did you see your brother?
Yes, I saw him.
You found him there?
Yes.
Bwe nagendayo Butabika muganda wange namulaba era namusangayo.
Now, our instructions is that after your brother committed a heinous crime for the murder of Freeman, Butabika was used as a scapegoat, and he was taken there without following due process, and from Butabika he was whisked out of Uganda, and his presence in his production in Butabika was on purpose to escape the due process. What do you have to say about our instructions?
My Lord, I have something to say about the question.
Please go ahead.
My brother should be clear
I
about
think
the instructions.
Mr. Okello wants to say something. You first attend to him. His hand has been up for quite some time. First hear what he's saying. You don't want him? Who do you want? You want to talk to me? You want to ask me? Please go ahead. Give him a microphone.
Yes, my lord. So, my lord, can I ask the witness any question a question or four or maybe three?
You want to cross-examine your own witness? Mr. Kumbuga, you had an issue with Mr.
My Lord, my humble request is that my land colleague should tell the witness the instructions, then he goes ahead to continue with that question.
I thought he did that. You want the specificity of the instructions.
Yes. then
Actually, I
he goes
think
ahead to
I
answer.
got the instructions from the question. He says he has instructions that he was taken to Butabika after killing Freeman to escape the due process. And from Butabika, they actually whisked him to the US. That is what I thought he said.
Yes, my Lord, but that's a statement, it's not
Okay,
instructions.
And then he was now going to ask a question. Those were the instructions, and he was going to ask a question.
So, my Lord, I pray that my land colleague gives the instructions he was given, then he goes ahead to answer the question.
Okay. I thought that's what you were doing. Mr. Mwaganya, you have heard? You have instructions. You can now put the question to the witness.
What do you have to say about my said instructions?
You have an answer to the question?
No, I do not have an answer to the question.
My Lord, that's all.
That is all. Any re-exam, Mr. Kumbuga?
No re-exam,
I
my
think a
lord.
question that he wanted to ask him, he can give it to you, and then you re-examine the witness. You can go and talk to him. Yes, any re-exam?
My lord is insisting on asking him questions.
No, I will not allow him to cross-examine his own witness because he called him, and that is why you're there. But I have a few questions to ask you, sir. So you say he's your biological brother and you share both parents. Are your parents both still alive?
Yes, both our parents are still alive.
Bazadde baffe be bamu, maama ne taata era bakyali balamu.
Do they live in Uganda?
Yes, they do.
Era babeera mu ggwanga Uganda.
And you said that you last met your brother, the most recent encounter was after his arrest.
Yes, that is correct.
Era kituufu nasemba okusinkana muganda wange ng'amaze okukwatibwa.
But if I can clarify, I saw him. We did not meet.
Namulaba bulabi naye tetwasisinkana.
Where did you see him?
That was at Kabalagala police station.
Nabulaba ku police station ye Kabalagala.
Which date was that?
On the 2nd of April this year.
Wali nga 2 mwezi ogwokuna omwaka guno.
At what time?
I don't remember the exact time, but it was between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Sijjukira ssaawa zennyini naye zaali wakati wa 2:00 ez'ekiro ne ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro.
Okay. And how did you end up in Kabalagala?
I had work in Jinja.
Okay, how did you go? Who told you to go to Kabalagala?
I received information that he seemed to be the person they were talking about with this occurrence. And then I went to the police station to confirm.
Tinafuna amawulire ti ayuka ye muntu eyali akoze bino byali bituuseewo era naye nengenda ku poliisi y'e Kabalagala kakasa.
Who gave you the information?
I found out from my wife.
Mawulire gano nagamanyira ku mukyala wange.
And when you reached Kabalaga, you said you didn't meet him, you just saw him, and did you talk?
No, we did not talk.
Natuuka ku poliisi y'e Kabalagala saayogera naye.
Okay. And about this visit in Butabika that you talked about, are you able to remember the date?
The exact date, no. I just remember, the reason I remember is shortly after the visit, then we had the lockdowns.
Sijjukira nnaku z'amwezi zennyini naye kyenzijjukira nti oluvannyuma lwanza okugendayo e Butabika ne wajjawo omuggalo.
Okay. So who told you that he was in Butabika?
We were supposed to have had a family meeting, a get-together in December 2019, and during that planning process, I was trying to check with my mother because I couldn't reach him, and that's when I heard that from a friend that maybe, brother, from another brother.
Twali tulina okuba n'olukuŋŋaana nga famire naye mu nteekateeka twalina okuba n'olukuŋŋaana olwo mu Desemba ya 2019 naye okubuuza maama wange.
So that other brother told you what?
When trying to reach him, because during that time he should have also been in touch, and then that's the one who told me that he could be somewhere in Kampala, maybe at the hospital.
Muganda wange omulala bwe twayibuuzaganya yategeeza nti alina okuba ng'ali Kampala ono Okello era nga tebeezebwa okuba ng'ali mu ddwaliro.
So when you reached there, who did you talk to?
I had initially tried to meet the admin who was present at the time, and then I was directed to, I think, an in-charge. So she's the one who informed me that that case was sensitive, and I would not be able to meet him.
What did the in-charge tell you?
That the case under which he was brought in was sensitive, and I would not be in position to meet him.
What was sensitive?
Sorry?
The case was sensitive.
Yes, please.
Ntandikwa nagezaako okwogerezeganya n'abaddukanya eddwaliro eryo ne babaako eyali akulira mu kitundu ekyo essaawa eyo.
Did you meet him? Because when he was asking you whether you met him, you said you met him. Did you meet him during that visit?
No, I did not meet him, but while walking in the compound, I was able to see him in one of the wards.
Walking in the compound, and then you saw in the ward? It's not clear, sir.
The administration block In order to access the administration block, you literally have to go through the compound, and the wards are on the left and on the right. So I believe it was just chance that I actually got to see him.
Did you talk to him?
No, I did not.
So would you be in a position to tell me with certainty why he was taken to Butabika?
At present, with the information I now know, or at the time?
What did you it can be two-way, at the time and now, but we can begin with then.
At the time, I thought maybe he had broken down. I could not ascertain why he was there. And now, largely through hearsay, I have had maybe the reasons why he was there.
Through hearsay from who? Tell us whether that source we shall determine whether it is credible or not.
Largely through social media and what is being posted online.
No, we don't take social media as evidence. It is not evidence. Okay, so did you ever get to know when he left Butabika?
No, I did not get to know exactly when he left.
And since then, have you met him again apart from the encounter at Kabalagala police station?
No, we have not met since. We have, however, been chatting on phone.
Did you try to ask your parents why he was in Butabika?
No, I did not.
And did they ever tell you why he was in Butabika? You may not have asked them, but for them, did they tell you?
To get context, my mother at present is not one you can have a coordinated discussion with at the moment. So it was not viable. And with my dad, we have had an estranged relationship. So it was not exactly possible to have that kind of conversation.
How many are you? Children, how many are you? Born by your mother and father?
By my biological mother, we are 4 boys.
4 boys. Okay. Let me hear from you, Mr. Jonathan, whether there is anything that arises from my questions.
My Lord, not at all.
How about you, Mr. Kumbuga?
No, my lord.
Okay, I earlier on said that I would make a decision as to whether I need to summon anyone from Butavika after hearing the evidence of DW2. But after hearing his evidence, I have not found it necessary to make an order for any doctor from Butavika to come to court to tell the court whether the accused has ever been in Butavika. As I already noted, the accused himself never ever stated that he has ever been admitted in Butavika. This witness states that the in charge of Butavika informed him that the case under which he was admitted there was sensitive and she couldn't give him any information. The witness himself has not informed this court that he knows his brother, the accused, to have any mental health challenges. It is also my considered view that even if it was believed that the accused was in Butavika in 2020, it would not be of any relevance to this case. This is because this offense is alleged to have happened on 2nd of April 2026, and I have also made a finding that throughout the proceedings, the accused person has been keenly following up the court procedures. I therefore decline to make any order to summon anyone from Butavika. And thank you so much for coming. You can now step down. Let's have your next witness, please. Does this one also need protection? You did not tell us. Okay, cameras off, no images, no pictures for this witness as well. Please give him a piece of paper to write his name. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Okay, you're going to write your name and your age and your religion on that piece of paper.
Teekako amannya go n'ebikwatako byonna.
can let him take off.
Ndayira mu linnya lya Katonda obujulizi bwenda kuba mu kooti ku musango guno gwa mazima atali bulimba.
Okay, please, Mr. Kumuga, take on the witness.
Kindly look at this person here.
Tunuulira omwami oyo atudde awo.
Do you know him?
Omumanyi?
Mumanyi naye mumanyi mu nnaku nga bbiri.
Munaku nga bbiri. So when did you first meet him?
Wamusooka dde omusisinkana?
Olunaku lwe nasooka omusisinkana oyo mwami yajja mu Kisenyi.
Kisenyi of where?
Kisenyi kyawa?
Kisenyi Kampala.
I first met him at Kisenyi in Kampala.
Okay, continue.
Oyo mwami yansanga n'abaana tuli ba street kid.
That man found me with children. We are street kids.
How many were you?
Mwali bameka?
Twali bangi kuba ne mwana tusukkamu.
We are many. We are over 40.
Okay, what happened?
Kyekaddirira?
Oyo mwami yali ayitawo tumugamba nko gyebaleko naye nga y'omuntu wa luzungu.
That gentleman was passing and we greeted him.
Mwami we twamubuuza tumugamba anko batugulira amazzi ga bitaano tunyweko.
He was speaking English and we told him, buy for us some water for drinking.
Omwami n'atugamba tebagera kubawa amazzi bagera kubawa emmere.
That gentleman told us they are not going to give you water, they are going to give you food.
Waliwo omukazi atunda hoteeri atunda emmere etandikira ku 1,000.
There is a lady there who sells food and the prices start at 1,000.
Tumugamba anko
What type of food?
Tunda mmere kika ki?
kawunga na bijanjaalo n'omuceere.
Sells posho, beans and rice.
Tumugamba anko obanga bw'oti obadde osazeewo ffe tulina buzibu katwogere ne anti waffe atuwa emmere.
We told him, if that's what you have decided, let's talk with our auntie so that she gives us the food.
Omwami we tumuyita tumugamba genda oyogere ne anti olaba tubegera emmere yameka ffe we tuli wanenza abaana ajja kuba organizinga.
I told that gentleman to go and meet and talk with our auntie to see the food she would give us and it's for how much. Nyai would organize the other children.
Nasigala nga sortinga abaana mbateeka mu line bagamuteerere.
I remained sorting the other children and lining them up.
Sortinga abaana ne bampuliriza kubeera bali bampuliriza.
I sorted them and they listened to me because they listened to me.
Kale anko yajjira nga maze okwesotinga ne anti agamba batule wali batandika babegera emmere mpola mpola.
When that uncle came back after sorting himself with the other auntie and he told us, we sit there and they start serving us the food slowly.
Atoma yatambuza emmere tubagabira emmere tugabanya abaana emmere tugabanya abaana emmere. Emmere olwaggwayo anko n'agamba ali nkwagalamu okwo.
We distributed the food, sharing it amongst all the children, and when it was done, that uncle told me he wanted to talk to me.
Awo yansabira enamba yange y'essimu.
That's when he asked for my phone number.
Mpa ku namba y'essimu ze bwe nabanga nze wano nessangawo baana nja kukubira nkole ki nsortingira abaana.
He told me to give him my phone number But whenever he would come and he doesn't find me, he would call me and I help him sort other children.
Ko olunaku banko n'agenda nga mmulekedde enamba yange y'essimu agamba kuyeetegeku Christopher.
That day he left when I had given him my phone number and he told me to save his and put his name as Christopher.
Nange ne mugamba ku yange nange teekako Sande kuba nayisiramu obuzibu bwonna.
I also told him to save mine and put the name Sunday.
Olwo olunaku n'agenda
And on that day he left.
n'akomawo enkeera era n'atusanga ng'agamba abaana baliwa. Nendeetawo abaana abaaliwo era kolonero n'atugulira emmere.
The following day he came back, he inquired how many children were around. I checked around and again he bought us food.
N'ajja ne kalita 10 ak'amazzi ag'okunywa.
He came with a 10-liter jerrycan of drinking water.
Yajja naku nga 2. Awo olunaku olwokusatu saddamu mulabako.
He came for about 2 days and on the third day I didn't see him again.
So you mean from that day you are seeing him right again?
Bagamba okuva ku olwo ozzeemu kumulaba kati.
Naddamu okumulaba ku mawulire.
I saw him again at the news.
Okay. Do you have anything more to tell this court?
Olinayo ekirala ky'wanditaze okutegeeza kkooti eno?
Edda.
No.
My Lord, I'm through with this witness. If there is any cross-examination, it's welcome. Much obliged.
Mr. Mwaganya, are you cross-examining this witness?
Just a few questions.
Please go ahead.
Leader wa government agenda kubuzaamu ebibuuzo.
So just for you to confirm, do you know the specific dates when you met Christopher?
Ojjukira ennaku z'omwezi ennyini ze wasinkanamu Christopher.
Like date and month.
Ennaku z'omwezi n'omwezi.
Zaali nga 19 Ogwokubiri.
It was on 19th February.
This year?
Mwaka guno.
Yeah.
And what is the age bracket of the children that you were organizing on his instructions?
Abaana be wali okuŋŋaanya bali mu wakati wa myaka emeka ku emeka byagamba okuŋŋaanya?
Kutandikira ku myaka 7, 8, 10 n'abalinga nze.
Between 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and those like me.
So finally, I want you to confirm that you don't know where Christopher was after the 19th of February this year.
Kakasa kooti eno nti tomanyi wa Christopher gye yali oluvannyuma lwa 17 omwezi ogwokubiri omwaka guno.
Sitegedde.
Kakasa kooti eno nti tomanyi Christopher gye yadda oluvannyuma lw'olunaku z'omwezi nga 17 omwezi ogwokubiri omwaka guno.
Simanyi.
I don't know.
My Lord, that is all.
Okay. Any re-exam?
No, my Lord.
Yes.
My Lord, I pray for adjournment to summon the remaining 2 witnesses he talked about.
So omusango gw'oba olunaku olulala yitayo abajulizi abalala abayogerwako.
My Lord,
Oh. Thank you so much for coming. You can step down.
Weebale nnyo okujja osobola okugenda.
Mr. Morgan, is that what you wanted to tell me? To discharge the witness, or you wanted to respond to his prayer for adjournment?
yeah, my Lord, I wanted to briefly raise a concern about the prayer for adjournment. My Lord, the order of court was to summon all witnesses as listed by the accused. And no reason has been advanced by the defense why the rest of the witnesses have not been produced. We believe that an adjournment should be on purpose. First, obviously, my Lord, on the relevance which is in the hands of the defense, the relevance of the witnesses. But second, the possibility of the witnesses appearing. We seek for your indulgence, my Lord.
Want to make a rejoinder?
May it please you, my Lord, you read for us where the land chief state attorney gave reasons when we were adjourning, then I will reply.
No, the chief state attorney actually, if you may recall, Mr. Kumga, all of us have been here. There was no day that the chief state attorney did not have enough witnesses. If anything, we actually always adjourned and left witnesses unattended to because of time.
My Lord, what deserves on my side, his side also should be deserved. He's asking reasons from me, but I pray that the court record is here. He reads to us that on the following days, I offered the following reasons. That's why witnesses didn't come. Then I reply his statement.
I've actually not understood you, but I think he was trying to say the orders of the court were, he gave us 4 names with numbers, and he was trying to say we had 2 witnesses out of the 4. So why are the 2 not here? But maybe I have an answer. You can sit down and I'll explain. Following the order of the court to serve the 4 witnesses whose identities were not disclosed to the public, efforts were made to serve those witnesses, and those efforts can actually be confirmed by the appearance of the 2 witnesses out of the 4 that he had named. But there is one which number is not a Ugandan number. I have an affidavit of service from Ampaile Evelyn. Ampaile Evelyn is that lady seated there. She says on 23rd she received summons from the deputy registrar to serve a witness named, and then a telephone number. I believe it is like an American telephone number. Then it says, on the same day, 23rd, I tried calling the telephone number using my MTN line in order to reach him for service of summons, but the number was not available. Mr. Kumbuga, I'm responding to you, please listen. That I called the said telephone number several times at 405, at 550, at 558, and all was in vain. But I also tried to send witness summons through WhatsApp, but could not find the same telephone number on WhatsApp. But I swear this affidavit to confirm that that telephone number was unavailable and the witness could not be reached. And so that is for that one. And then the other 2 who were here, she also saw an affidavit to that effect. Then for another one, she says that she received the summons for that particular witness on the particular telephone number, and on the same day she tried calling the telephone number given using her MTN line in order to reach him for his address, but the number was not available. She again tried the same number several times at 401, at 506, and at 5:53 p.m. All those numbers were still, on all those times, the telephone number was still unavailable. But I also sent him witness summons on his WhatsApp, but it was showing that his WhatsApp was last seen on the 15th March 2026. So that is where we are. Efforts were made to summon these 2 witnesses, but unfortunately they could not be reached. I want to believe that if they could be reached, they would have been here, like the other 2 witnesses who came. I want you to again talk with Mr. Christopher Okello, and I can explain that to him, and let him tell us whether he still thinks we give him an opportunity to call these 2 witnesses, but if he can dispense with them, that would also be fine. He should know that efforts to trace and get these numbers were in vain.
My Lord, I pray we approach.
Okay, I have taken note that the accused person yesterday informed the court that he intended to call 4 witnesses. He went ahead to avail their names with their telephone numbers. Unfortunately, he did not avail their physical addresses. So the process server used those telephone numbers, and she was able to get the 2 witnesses who have since testified as DW2 and DW3. However, on the 2 numbers availed by the accused person, according to her affidavits, which she deponed to this morning, which she deponed to yesterday, 23rd, yes, she stated that one of the telephone numbers which was availed by the accused person, it is not a Ugandan number, this is an American number, and she made efforts to reach on this number, the person on this number, but the number was off. She tried at 4:05 p.m., at 5:50 p.m., and at 5:58 p.m., but all was in vain. She then tried to send the witness summons using WhatsApp, but the telephone number was not on WhatsApp. Then for the other witness, there was also no address, but there was a telephone number. She also deponed the affidavit on 23rd, and she also indicated that she tried several times. The first time was at 4:01 p.m., then at 5:06 p.m., and then at 5:53 p.m., but still this number was not going through. Then she sent the witness summons on a WhatsApp of that number, but it showed her that this number had last seen WhatsApp on the 15th of March of 2026. But we all saw that she at least managed to serve 2 witnesses who appeared today. But I will give this accused person one more time to try, make another effort to try and see whether we shall get to these 2 witnesses. I am asking the Deputy Registrar to again make an effort and ensure that he tries to trace these 2 witnesses. And so for that reason, I am adjourning this case to Monday, the 27th of April, 2026 at 9 a.m. for further defense hearing, and the accused person is further remanded till then.
Omuvunaana yategeeza nti era alina okuyita abajulizi 4 era n'atuwa amannya n'ennamba z'essimu naye ng'ate yateekako gye babeera era kooti n'etwala obuvunaanyizibwa n'efuna process server oba atambuza amabaluwa mu kooti n'akuba amasimu ago agamuweereddwa era ababiri n'abafuna era be bajuliza abazze olwaleero omujulizi abadde ow'okubiri ku ludda olwo oba wabulwa n'omujulizi abadde ow'okusatu ku ludda olwo n'agezaako okkuba ennamba endala yamuweereddwa nga nnamba ya Amerika era n'agigezaako enfunda eziwera naye neetayitamu n'agezaako okusindika obubaka ku mukutu gwa WhatsApp, ennamba n'eraga nti teri ku mukutu gwa WhatsApp, n'adda ku nnamba endala era nayo n'eraga nti teriiko, n'agiddamu enfunda eziwera era n'agisindikako n'obubaka ku WhatsApp naye n'eraga nti yali saawa eyo teri online ng'erudde okubeerako yakoma mu gwa 3. N'olw'ensonga eyo avunaanibwa aweereddwayo obudde obulala omusango omuzeddwayo mpaka nga 27 omwezi ogwokuna mwaka guno ku ssaawa 3 era n'Okello osindikiddwa okuddayo ku alimanda okutuusa ku olwo.
Hello, please. Attention, administrative announcement. I request for my interpreter, someone to interpret in Uganda, please. Thank you very much for your patience. You have been with us from 13th. We have been here for 2 weeks, isn't it? Yes, we thank you for patience. We thank you for cooperation. Now the case has been adjourned to Monday because the accused still has more witnesses. He gave us 4 names and 4 telephone contacts. We managed to get 2. Other 2 could not be reached, their phones were not on. That one was explained well by the judge. But my coming here now is to tell you that on Monday we may not be here. We may be at High Court Kampala. Now, if it is confirmed that we are not here, it means Monday you will not find us here even if you come. Now, if you don't find us here, find us at Kampala High Court, Criminal Division. It sits at City Square, where there are 2 twin towers, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, tall buildings. But Criminal Division sits in the shorter building, the old one. We have space which can accommodate all of you. They are bigger court halls. So if you don't find us here, please come to Kampala. Thank you.
Webale kulaba KKTV Uganda,
the inspiration and the best broadcasting around town. KKTV, the global experience, the might, the power, and all you need with KKTV. We are your broadcasting experience.
Thank you for subscribing to KKTV.
Museveni era nga bwe yakyogedde yayogera n'abantu abalala